From Tally to Cali,
It's time
to wake up.
Wake up! Wake up!
Warchant.com is your ultimate Seminole sports source.
And this is Wake Up Warchant, presented by Vitamin Energy.
The vitamins.
The energy.
Now here's Warchant.com's Aslan Hajavandi
And Corey Clark.
One of these days, I'm going to turn down that feedback noise that begins our open when we do our live shows on YouTube. Today, not that day today, the live edition of Wake Up Warchant right here on Warchant TV. We, as always, sponsored and presented by our great friends over at Vitamin Energy, vitaminenergy.com. Shake it and take it. This is the pre-workout, the number one pre-workout shot out there in the country. Everybody, tastes great. 260 milligrams of all natural caffeine. Also, all the nutrients and vitamins you need to get your pump a little bit better. You can buy one of these and get one free, Corey, with a promo code. Let them know.
It's Warchant BOGO. How about that? How'd that sound?
Fantastic.
Meaty.
It's incredible how much better it sounds you saying that than my voice.
Sure.
Warchant BOGO. Thanks for being here, everybody. Hit the thumbs up. Would appreciate that. We actually have a question from Vitamin Energy World.
All right.
Which I know that's how it works. We take our questions from everybody on YouTube, but they want Corey to answer this one. They can honestly say that you, Corey, have been on the Tommy Castellanos bus since 2023. It's like you spoke Tommy coming to Florida State into existence.
Mm-hmm.
So if Corey Clark had the option of having a healthy Jordan Travis for this season, would he start him in the Miami game, or does he stick with Tommy?
I mean, look, I go with Jordan. I'm not. What are you trying to get me in trouble? Tommy's been here for 2 games. Jordan was here for 5 years. No, I would definitely go with Jordan Travis. Jordan Travis was an elite college quarterback. So good that when he got hurt, the team ceased to exist, apparently. So I think Tommy could have a great season. He might be able to surpass numbers that Jordan Travis put up in specific seasons while he was here. When it's all said and done, he might have 35 touchdowns. Who knows? I have no idea what his ceiling is. But right now, as we are here in week 2, I got to give the edge to Jordan. I got to give the edge to Jordan. But, man, if Tommy can stay healthy, he is just so much fun to watch. Jordan Travis was fun too, but Tommy is just a different level of runner, man.
How would 22-year-old Corey Clark be processing this stuff right now? Because, listen, I think 22-year-old Aslan Hajavandi would be processing this differently as well, too. Like, I'm not scarred by what happened last year. Like, it wasn't a great time. I get it. We've moved on. I've moved on. But I know it's only been 2 games, but this kid's played a lot of football. This offensive coordinator's called a lot of football games. The way that they've looked, it's hard to not think. Listen, the Miami Clemson game is going to be different animals. I think Virginia could be a little bit tricky too still, but it's hard to not extrapolate from those 2 games just how good they possibly can be, Corey.
Yeah, and going back to him in particular, it isn't like he's just played 2 games in his career. He's had big moments at a school at a program that's not as prestigious or as good as Florida State. I know they beat him last year, but still Boston College. So it's not like he's done anything in these first 2 games where you're like, wow, that was incredible. That was unexpected. That wasn't Tommy. No, I mean, that's what Tommy does. In big games against good defenses, he can run. You can have great athletes on the edge. They are not as good an athlete as him, and he's probably going to run around them. He is going to be able to get tough first downs when you're trying to run out the clock or when you're trying to put a game away. He is that kind of guy, and he's proven that over the course of 2 years. That was just not – especially in 2023. 2024, that was just idiocy. Him and that offense was just idiocy. You had a racehorse, and you kept him in shackles. It doesn't make sense how he was coached in 2024. And I'm not saying that absolves him of how his tenure at Boston College ended. He did not handle that well, but that was just, you had a guy that ran for 1,100 yards and you tried to turn him into a pocket passer. That's just idiocy. I keep coming back to it. Gus Malzahn's not an idiot. He's going to use this kid, and it's going to be fun to watch him. And so with that said, the way he's looked has not been surprising to me. I would be surprised if he didn't have a stinker or 2, just because most college quarterbacks do. That's the nature of the position, the nature of the sport. But, yeah, man, this is kind of who he is. He hadn't done anything exceptional through 2 games. He's just Tommy. He's a good college quarterback. And for all we know, in this system, he might be a great one.
just thought about this kind of, and I don't want to give him too much credit because, Alabama's a little bit lull they kind of had towards the end of Saban's career, which is like, what, two seasons, 3 seasons they went without winning a national championship. It was Bill O'Brien as the OC with Bryce Young, a Heisman Trophy winning quarterback, and he still wasn't able to figure it out and get done. Now, listen, guys got hurt in the national title game against Georgia. I think if like Jameson Lynn doesn't get hurt, they probably win that, but that's neither here nor there. But it kind of speaks to what Gus was saying when he said that Tommy can make all the throws. Now, will he make the throws all the time? That's different than being able to having the ability to make all these throws. But Bill O'Brien obviously figured that Tommy was a high functioning enough quarterback throwing the ball that he can make him into a pocket passer. So it just underscores Gus saying that, like, listen, he's got those tools, and then obviously he's going to let him run crazy because Bill O'Brien wouldn't. So it's incredible. And yes, Corey, you did mention this in 2023. I think I should maybe go back and listen to the Monday show after that Boston College game. I wonder if you started it then. Like, they should go get that kid.
I think I did. I think I was saying it because we all knew Jordan was leaving, and it's not like we were sold on Tate Rodemaker or Brock Glenn. And so going into that offseason, I'm like, man, they need to go get themselves a portal quarterback probably if they want to keep this thing going. And honestly, Aslan, who impressed you more? And I know he had an all-time great game. He accounted for 400 yards and almost won that game single-handedly. But what quarterback impressed you more the entire season that played that Florida State defense? He was the most impressive of anybody they played, and that includes the Heisman winner. Yeah. Like, obviously, Jane Daniels is a better quarterback than Tommy Castellanos, but not for that game. Tommy Castellanos was unreal in that game. And when you have a kid that has that kind of ceiling, yeah, they're fun to have on your team. There's a chance they can hit their head on that ceiling a few times.
Well, let's keep it on offense. Let's go over to Facebook. Jason Brown, remember all that talk of having the best offense in the country preseason? I think they actually believe it.
Yeah.
What says you? I was actually going to ask, I think Javen that today, just about like, I wonder what everyone, I mean, on the record, they're probably going to give us a different answer, but just what the feeling was in that first meeting room whenever Gus did drop that, because I think Tony Tokarz told us, that was the goal, number one offense in the country. Gunnar Hansen said the same thing. Okay. So I do wonder where their level of belief was then and obviously where it is now, but still got some more spots to climb up, but they're in prime position to nab that spot. I wonder how many times Gus has said that in his career, Corey. There's no way you can go into you can say kind of in a general broad, like, listen, we're going to have the best offense in the country, everybody. Yeah. But I'm sure he said it with a different level of conviction because he went and picked all these pieces out himself. And yeah, man, this is not a crazy stretch to think if, they get through these tougher games and still put up some good points and numbers, they might be like the number one offense in the country. I can't believe that.
I mean, they might be leading the country in scoring after this weekend. I would think if they put up another 50 or 60 spot against an overmatched team, they could certainly be there. But then the real season starts because you got 8 straight conference games. But yeah, I bet Malzahn's probably said it at the first year at a couple of places. You know what I mean? Like, that's the goal. My goal here is to have the best offense in the country. I'm sure I would assume he said it at Auburn, probably said it at Tulsa, probably said it at UCF. I don't know. But yeah, I do think they believe it. And I think, look, we have no real idea what like Deuce Robinson actually is, or what Javon Boggs is, what Cromall is going to be, what Randy Pittman is. I think this is a good offensive line. Not exceptional, not full of first-round talent, but a good offensive line that knows the system, even though they've only played together for about a month, seems to know the system pretty well and really communicates well together. When you have a quarterback like they have, that, as Gus says, even when you're right, even when you're wrong, he can make you right just because of the way he can extend plays and go make plays with his feet. You have potentially one of the best receivers in the country, certainly one of the most unique receivers in the country, with a 6'6" kid that can hit 21 miles an hour running in full pads. You have I think an NFL tight end in Pittman when he gets back to it. Maybe Landon Thomas is too. Don't have any idea. You have Squirrel White and Tansy and Lucas, like these dudes that are a 4x1 team. Like, there's a lot to like with this offense, and it's a unique offense that should be hard to defend. I still worry a little bit about how special the running backs are, but they might be pretty darn good. And that's not to say that I don't think they can be good. We don't have enough sample size yet. I think Sawchuk is a good college running back. I think Cromall could be awesome, but he just hasn't proven that yet.
Let's go to the coaching carousel part of the program. Garrett PCL, I view Tony White's situation as Would you rather be the VP at Netflix or the president of Blockbuster? He'll stay until a better job opens up. And then Sydney Sweeney's fan club, first off, asks if the rumors are true. Am I taking myself off the market? If so, don't do it.
Yeah, you're off the market, Aslan.
And I am off the market.
You are off the market.
Quick funny thing. Somebody in Abby's orbit actually found out about us being engaged because that woman's boyfriend or husband listens to the show. His name is Colin, I think.
Oh, okay.
He connected the dots and he was like, babe, I think your friend Abby's getting married to this guy on the Florida State podcast. But Sydney Sweeney's fan club also asking about coaching stuff. Could you see John Gruden at Florida?
Come on, man.
The groomer mill already grinding.
That would be wonderful.
Yeah, Tony White looking at UCLA versus FSU, and then John Gruden in Gainesville.
Are those questions?
Yeah, just your thoughts, Corey, about.
Yeah. I mean, that's a fair comparison. UCLA is, I wouldn't say Blockbuster because Blockbuster's out of business.
Well, I'm sorry. Thanks for letting me butt in here real quick, Corey. But I understand what you're saying, but I'm sure somebody might have told Kenny Dillingham not to go to Arizona State because Arizona State's just been a graveyard for coaches, and stay here at Oregon and you'll get even a better job. I'm sure somebody told Curt Cignetti, like, you're doing a good job here, James Madison. Don't leave for Indiana. You can find a better job than Indiana. Both those guys, year one, new programs, take them to the playoff. Anomalies, it kind of feels like outliers, but if you're a competitor and you believe in yourself, I'm sure Tony White thinks, like, give me enough NIL and I can do the same thing. No?
Probably, but okay, give me enough NIL. Well, where are you getting that? They have not proven that they're willing to invest in that program ever. And again, it's fair, and he is a competitor, and he probably thinks he's going to be an awesome head coach and would turn that program around. Odds are stacked against it. And sometimes you need to be patient and wait for a better opportunity, one that has had more success in the last 6 decades than UCLA. Ever since Gary Beban won the Heisman over OJ in '67. Don't worry, OJ fans. He came back and won the Heisman the next year, but Beban beat him out in '67, or Beban. I'm not sure how to pronounce it. But that's back when UCLA was good, only 60 years ago. Yeah. So, yeah, but I wouldn't compare UCLA to Blockbuster, like I said, because Blockbuster's out of business. But they're like, I don't know. What's a
Netflix or Roku or something, I guess.
I was trying to think of like one of these streaming services that nobody really cares about. And I guess
Peacock.
Okay, sure. Yeah. You go be the president of Peacock. So it's fair, though. And I would never begrudge someone going for this opportunity. It is his alma mater, just like it was for Dillingham. I don't know that UCLA head coach is your dream job, though. I guess, like, I feel like
is Indiana head coach Curt Cignetti's dream job?
But he's like 62. Like, he's older than Tony White. I thought he was older than that. I might be wrong on the age, but he went from James Madison. I know he was the head coach, but he went from James Madison to a Big Ten school.
64. Curt Cignetti, 64.
And maybe that's his end spot. I wouldn't think that. I don't think Tony White wants to end up at UCLA. I guess. I don't foresee him being their next Terry Donahue and staying there for 2 decades, even if it's alma mater. I would think you'd want to use that as a stepping stone. I feel like you're already on a better stepping stone, and it's more stable beneath your feet than going out to UCLA and just hoping against hope that you can make that program a success. And that's also probably wishful thinking. And Gruden, that they would be that go for it. Go hire John Gruden.
Who don't you want them to go after? Like, for me,
I would say Lane. Lane, obviously. I think Lane is a guy that nobody's a sure thing. And he was not a sure thing at USC. He was pretty good at Tennessee, his 1 year there. He's done well at Ole Miss. He is a good football coach. It always has really good offenses. And Florida has not had they've had like one good offense in the last 15 years. And that was with Trask and Kyle Pitts and those guys. He would have the potential to be scary at Florida with those resources. He also could fall on his face. Like, there are no guarantees when you're making these head coach hires. I feel like he's the closest thing to a sure thing, though, because he's going to have a good offense and they're going to win at least some games. I don't know if he can take them to the heights, but he can win games there. If you can win at Ole Miss, you can win at Florida.
Amen. Jeffrey Hill dropped $20 in the jar. That's a new name, new face. Jeffrey, welcome to the Terror Dome. Thank you, man.
Thank you, Jeffrey. Thank you, man.
Some sort of Feinbaum maybe Feinbaum AI with extremely large ears. Anyways, he says, could be one of the best offenses in the country. Now I got to see more of what he did to Alabama. That was impressive. If they do it again against Virginia, then going into the Miami game, I would feel pretty good.
I'm 100% on board. If they go and look good against Virginia and Tommy looks like the athlete, like he looks like he did against Alabama or better, because Virginia is not going to be as good defensively as Alabama, then yeah, you go into the Miami game, again, you might think not who's going to be drafted higher, but you might think going into that game, you're going to win the quarterback battle. You've got a better quarterback than they do. Now, you might be wrong. Carson Beck's been really good, and he's got another test this weekend, and he's got a very good offensive line, and he's certainly going to be drafted higher than Tommy Castellanos. I shouldn't say certainly, but I'm assuming so. But college quarterback in their system, you might have a special one at quarterback. But again, we're 2 games in, and the second game really didn't even count. He made some nice throws, some impressive throws, but we know who he's up against. That Alabama game was so impressive, though. The throws he made, the runs he made to continue drives, to extend drives, and to get out of bad plays, it's just stuff that's abnormal. And yes, you're hopefully gonna see a lot more of it the rest of the season.
Thanks again, Jeffrey. Appreciate that, man. Octavio wants to get back to the coaching stuff. Could you see Dabo heading to be an OC somewhere eventually and pulling them all on?
No.
No.
And also, he's not an OC. He's never been an OC, and he's not going to turn down. No, whoever hires him isn't going to pay him $11 million. And he is the biggest whiny baby that's ever been. It's unbelievable how every year he basically tells the Clemson fan base how ungrateful they are and how they don't deserve him every single year.
Wes over in the Village is asking about if the atmosphere inside Doak versus Miami could top Alabama, and then Braden McGill dropping $5 in the jar. That's very polite of you and kind.
Thank you,
Dollar bills, y'all.
Corey, you more excited for the atmosphere in Doak for Miami, or to see Kirk and his dog in person, assuming we get game day?
Probably Kirk and his dog. That's a feel-good story. I love that he gets so much airtime. It's wonderful. It's heartwarming. It makes you really like Kirk as a human being, the way he treats that dog. I think that atmosphere will be better than if they're both undefeated, will be better than the Alabama game. It'll be the best atmosphere. And now look, who knows how the game goes, but I'm talking about the electricity before the game, the pregame hype, the first quarter, especially if it's at night. That was the bummer about all those Game of Centuries, was they were always noon games because TV was stupid back then. And they'd put the games of the year at noon on a Saturday instead of prime time. It made no sense then. It makes even less sense now. But assuming that's a prime time game, you've had all day, all week to get lubed up and fired up and ready to go. You really have no idea how the game's going to go. The electricity in that crowd, even though it's 12,000 people less than it used to be at its maximum, will feel like a absolute game of the century 90s type game. It's going to be awesome, even more than Kirk and his dog. And I love Kirk and his dog. What's his dog's name?
Ben?
Oh, all right.
I don't know. Don't quote me on that. Somebody in the comment section, bail me out. Kevin says, sadly, Miami looks good. Interesting to see if Florida gives them fits or a game. I think they will fight.
Yeah, this could be like Florida's last stand. I do think that – I don't know what that number is, what that spread is, but I think Florida will I think it was only like a touchdown, which tells you something, I think. I thought it was like 7.5 or 6.5, somewhere in there.
Well, I think it tells you that Florida's not that terrible. I mean –
correct.
Right. The record's not great. And I don't think it's saying that – I don't think Miami's a world beater. I think Miami's really good, but I think Florida just, victim of circumstance, or I don't know. It's crazy that they're 1-2 right now.
Yeah, and, the loss to South Florida is what kills them because losing at LSU, there's no shame in that. And it was a close game. And they were in the game even with their quarterback throwing 5 interceptions, including a pick 6. They have a good defense, and they will make Miami earn it. It's just a matter of if they get down by 10 points or 14 points and Lagway keeps throwing it to orange jerseys. The other orange jerseys, the ones on the other team. Will he will they just kind of give in and be like, we're not winning this game? Our quarterback's terrible. But if Lagway plays well, that could certainly plays better. That could actually bolster the defense, and they might go in there and because they are talented. They're a talented defense. They've got talented guys. They're not a pushover. And if they're in the game in the third or fourth quarter, that puts real game pressure on Miami, and we'll see how they respond to that. But I do expect it to be a close game. But there is also a chance it's a 40-point loss.
Was not making light of Ben. Apparently, Ben was the original dog that Herbie had, but Ben passed away. Now it's Peter, apparently. So we got that 7.5 currently at every major sports book in the nation. Florida,
Miami. Yeah,
7.5 point spread there.
Yeah, because they lost to South Florida on a last-second field goal because their players spit in some guy's face. And South Florida's a pretty good team, we think. And Miami's best win is what? I guess South Florida. But
no, Notre Dame. I think Notre Dame's still a good team, and that
yeah.
A&M
But I guess I'd say like A&M put up 40 on them. So maybe what Miami did to that Notre Dame defense wasn't as impressive as we thought, because A&M, who's not been world beaters on offense since someone was there, Lord knows it wasn't with Jimbo, went up in their house and put up 40 on them. So that win loses a little bit of luster, and I don't think there's a transference of, well, Florida lost to South Florida, and Miami beat the brakes off South Florida, so Miami's going to beat the brakes off Florida. That's not how it works, and that's obviously Vegas figured that out because the spread isn't 30. The spread is only basically a touchdown.
Shout out to Sergeant Eggy, just became a YouTube member.
There you go, Sergeant. Sarge.
That. Head on over to the Corner Pocket Bar and Grill Friday for a meet and greet. 5 p.m. start time. Corey Clark will be there. Say what's up to Corey. Shake his hand. Order the food named after him.
Yeah, the Corey Wrap. The Corey Wrap is there. Yep.
It reads clearer than that on their website. Just my internet's being really weird right now. But it's delicious. The drink's ice cold. The friendly folks. TV screens galore. And Thursday
I think there's some college football on Friday night, isn't there? Is there any games on Friday night?
It's got to be. There's just got to be. Can't believe there wouldn't be. And if there is college football, there's any sports of circumstance, it'll be on the TVs at the Corner Pocket Bar and Grill, 2475 Appalachia Parkway, cptallybar.com, the website. What is it going to look like in there? Florida State is 4-0 and Miami is 4-0 as well. Like, will they have to turn people away? Will everyone will have to stay outside? I mean, are we gonna hit
the fire code
territory? Yeah.
I mean, I thought we did that for Alabama, and that was kind of people just hopeful. Hoping to hang in the game with Alabama. These will be fans that are there to watch you beat Miami in a game of the century type game with the whole country watching. Yeah, it's going to be slammed. It'll be slammed either way. But if they're both undefeated in game day and it's a top 5 matchup, that's going to be, dare I say, maybe the busiest couple of nights in Corner Pocket history. You're welcome, Bill. Hey, price of business is going up, baby. Price of business is going up.
Yeah, capacity maxed outside. I don't know if that was what happened in the Alabama game. Capacity maxed.
Yeah, that would definitely happen this game. If it happened for Alabama, it would definitely happen for this one. I know they ran out of food Sunday after the Alabama game, and that never happens. So that was by far his best weekend ever, and he's been doing it for 18 years. So again, that's the Warchant. That's the wake up Warchant bump.
That's what they call it in the marketing world, in the advertising world. Jammin' 2 shirts. Ben's here. This Ben's alive and well. Does Tony Tokarz give you any sense of confidence yet? Seems to be benefiting from circumstances.
Yeah, that's hard to say. I don't know how to judge that. I mean, Jordan Travis did get better under him. The quarterbacking last year was horrific, but everything around that position was horrific. This year, the quarterback play seems to be better. I'm starting to get the idea that maybe it's more about the player than the coach when it comes to quarterback coaching. But look, he gets paid. And like, if a quarterback doesn't play well, you can't say, well, it's on the player. I mean, then what are you paying him for? It can't all be about the player. The coach has to have some impact. And it's just hard to quantify that, honestly. Like, I don't know that Tony Tokarz is like telling Castellanos, look, when you see those 2 linebackers, do a little hezzy, shoot through that gap, get yourself about 9 yards and a first down. I don't know that that's the quarterback coaching that's going on. So, yeah, I don't know how much he's impacting Tommy Castellanos. I do know that Jordan Travis always gave him props and and shouted him out for what he did for his career.
I think, I'm sure Gus is kind of the de facto quarterback coach. So I would assume for Tony, it's just more about managing like the attitude. That's like a negative connotation. I think it's just like keeping him in a good space, like during a game, like filtering maybe some of the stuff that's coming in the headset, like, hey, calm down. This is what's going on, blah, blah, blah. I think it's more about that than, you got to get that back foot planted. You're throwing off platform. You're throwing, like, I don't think he's mechanically affecting Tom. It's just more about probably keeping him calm and cool and getting the right information to Gus. And so everything kind of filters. And that's fine. And I know we think a quarterback coach, you think of, he's got to work on his mechanics and make sure that the ball never hits the ground, but there's a lot that goes into it. I'm sure he's doing his part to keep things rolling well for Gus and the offense. Sydney Sweeney's fan club is back, and they brought money this time. That's cool.
Dollar bills, y'all.
5 American, everybody.
Apparently, Sydney Sweeney is going to be in a movie about the female boxer, Christy Martin.
Yeah.
Remember her from back in the day?
Yeah.
I don't remember how she ended up, if she ended up having a good life or a bad one. I usually they don't, but I probably won't watch that in the theater, but if it's good, I might watch it at some point.
Yeah, it was in the group chat with my buddies yesterday. They've got like
That's her on the left.
That's her. That's America's sweetheart.
I'm not sure.
Well, I mean that's Sydney Sweeney. That's not the actual. That's
what I mean. Yeah.
This is the real life person she's portraying on the right side of the screen there. So.
Okay. All right. Well,
she's doing the whole Charlize Theron.
Yeah. Really pretty. Gonna take one of those roles so you can win an Oscar or at least be nominated for an Oscar. We know the drill, everyone. We know the drill.
His ACC power rankings, or maybe it's her ACC power rankings. Sydney Sweeney Fanny Club. ACC power rankings. Number 5, Clemson. Number 4, Cal. What? Number 3, Georgia Tech. Number 2, Miami. Number 1, your Florida State Seminoles. Agree?
I would probably switch Cal and Clemson. But other than that, sure. And I'm telling you what's a little worrisome about Georgia Tech is that schedule. I mean, they don't have Louisville. They don't have Florida State. They don't have Miami. I mean, their schedule. And look, it's, again, as I say all the time, it's hard to win on the road in the ACC. You certainly can't assume people are, because they beat Clemson by on a 55-yard field goal, that they're going to just skate through the rest of the conference. They are going to have close games. They might lose one. But they can maybe afford to slip up. But I don't, I guess they could lose at Duke, but they play Virginia Tech at home with an interim coach. They're at Wake. Maybe that's a tricky game. Who knows? But they're going to be favored in all those games except maybe at NC State.
Yeah.
And they probably won't be favored in that game. So yeah, they got a bit of a break with this schedule. That was they could very easily get to 9 wins overall, 9 or 10 wins, and at least 7-1 in the conference. And then you're in contention.
I know the Cal thing now is it's become the what if there's a 3-way tie discussion about like, oh, what if Cal just trots into this ACC championship because they have a really weak schedule, the Golden Bears. I mean, I don't dispute that. I just again, it's they've played 3 games. They haven't looked incredibly great, but yeah, I mean, they got Duke, they got BC, Duke, North Carolina, Virginia Tech, Virginia, Louisville, Stanford, and SMU.
Yeah, at Louisville will be tough.
Yeah, at Louisville's tough. At Stanford's tough. SMU.
Let's be honest, it's Cal, man. They're probably all going to be tough. But
yes.
I mean, you know what I mean? They're not world beaters yet necessarily, but they have looked pretty good. That's a nice win over a Big Ten team. Beat Oregon State by 20 points, so maybe they'll be decent. Also, did you see that you could get in the Georgia Tech Boston College game now for $11?
$11.
It was 18, I think, yesterday. Okay. It's already dropped to 11.
I still probably would I'd put NC State, Louisville, or SMU ahead of Cal. And I know those teams have lost. SMU's lost the game. I don't think Louisville's lost.
I don't think NC State's lost either, have they?
Yeah, I'd put them ahead of Cal right now. But yeah, I mean,
it'll all work itself out. And we don't, man, maybe Virginia's hard. Maybe Virginia's a good team. We have no idea what Virginia is. I wonder what people outside this space would do. I wonder if they'd put Miami ahead of Florida State. I think McElroy did his top 10 or whatever, and he's got Miami number 1. That's fair. I mean, look, look. I know I said what I said last week, and it made sense, and it was right. I should have bet more than I did. Not hey, and I'm just doing it for fun, guys. It's entertainment purposes. But I had a feeling a beatdown of South Florida was coming, not because Miami is that much better, but they got to play Bethune. South Florida was coming off in a huge emotional, physical win over Florida. It was their second physical game in a row after starting with Boise State. That was just prime for a letdown, and it got away from them. But when you look at Miami's resume, I know Notre Dame's 0-2, but you beat Notre Dame and then you beat South Florida by four or five touchdowns. Sure, go ahead. You can call them number one right now. It'll all be settled on the field anyway, thankfully.
Ted wants to know, Corey, what's better, an above the range or a countertop microwave?
I haven't used this one yet at all, so I don't know. I would say I like above the range better, honestly. I like being that close to the range where maybe I can. I don't know. I just like I like the way it looks right next to it. I'm not a big fan of the countertop microwaves. But like I said, I haven't even used this one yet. So
Merked.
And I would like to explain real quick, Aslan. The reason I set up like this is because if I tilt it this way, it's either a hostage video or it looks like I'm floating in heaven, like I'm in a cloud. So I have to make sure people know I'm in a house and there's some context. And again, it's a rental. I haven't really decorated yet, as you can see. Barely slept here yet. So
when's the move-in date at the new estate in Tallahassee? When's that move-in date?
Closing is October 7th, so like the Tuesday after Miami. So probably that weekend, buddy. We'll be locked and loaded. I'll be doing podcasts from my brand new podcast room. I can't wait to deck that thing out.
Your podcast room is bigger than the Midtown offices.
It's going to be fun. We're going to have a good time. We're going to have a good time. I should have a basketball goal in there. Just when I make a good point, just shoot a free throw.
Do you think we could stay healthy this year? Or is Built by Storms going to I don't think Josh Storms' routines create injuries. I mean, think about last year, right? Like, wasn't Quinn Ewers hurt most of the season? Ohio State lost their starting left tackle either before the playoff or during the playoff. They had to move guys around on the offensive line. Man, teams get people hurt. I mean, it's football. This happens everywhere. Like 2013 Florida State, that's an anomaly. Like you go through an entire season pretty much with 22 dudes, seemingly. That just does not happen all that often. So I hope because it feels, Corey, the only thing that could really slow this thing down substantially would be injuries, plural, or injury to that one position.
Yeah, I was going to say injuries to key players. You know who they are on defense and offense, but if you can keep, because I do think you're starting to see, again, we'll know more in a couple of weeks, but I think you're starting to see that this team has some special on it. Some of these dudes are special, and you got to keep them healthy because if you lose the impact players, that's when a season can got to get away from you a little bit. But if those guys stay healthy, you can probably weather the storm at other places. But yes, I hope they stay healthy, but I don't know.
Michael, come on, man.
I like it, Michael. I like it. Let's get excited. I'm tired of qualifying everything. Let's get excited.
Do you guys think that the 2025 Florida State team is playing out a bit like 2013? The Miami game feels like Clemson 2013.
Wouldn't that be unbelievable? Like if they just put it on Miami, like number one, they're both undefeated. That's everybody's watching. And then Florida State wins 51-14. Like that'd be incredible. But I do not see that. I do not think that's happening. Not because I don't think this team is good, but I promise you, it's not as good as that one because odds are there will never be another Florida State team as good as that one.
Henry, question for Corey. Do you really think Mike Norvell would not unleash the hounds after last year's flag fiasco just because we've already locked up an ACC championship game berth? I think this year is how he wanted 2024 to look. So the Florida game, right? So you talk about you've got your ticket punched to Charlotte after you beat NC State.
I see what he's saying. I got you.
Yeah, maybe you take a little bit of a cautious approach against Florida because you don't want to get guys banged up. But I don't know, man. If they're they're 11-0 going to Gainesville, they're keeping the foot down on the pedal. But I guess maybe if they're like 9-2, maybe you're guarding against it because you definitely need to go into Charlotte and win that game to get in at that point.
Yeah, but if you're 9-2 and you've already lost, that means you've lost 2 conference games already. And at that point, it seems like it's going to be hard to get to Charlotte either way. Maybe not. Look, if they're 11-0, you absolutely go and try to hammer Florida, because then that gives you a get out of jail free card if you lose the championship game. You're in the playoff no matter what. If you're 10-1, I would dare say this: if you're 10-1 or 11-0, and I know we're getting way ahead of ourselves, going into the Florida game, you win that game, you're in the playoff. It does not matter what happens in Charlotte. So with that said, that Florida game then becomes very, very important, and you do play hard. I'm just saying, the way the college landscape is going, the way the sport is heading, these rivalry games at the end of the season don't mean as much as the next week. You think about Georgia and Georgia Tech last year. Georgia looked like they wanted to do anything else on that Friday night other than play a college football game. Now, Georgia Tech gifted them back in the game, and then it went 8 overtimes. But Georgia did not look like one of the best teams in the country, and that was before Carson Beck got hurt. They knew it didn't matter. That game didn't matter. They had to win the game the next week in the championship game. That's what mattered. And they played like it. They played like they were looking ahead, and Georgia Tech was too good to do that. Well, maybe not, because they ended up beating them, but it took them 8 overtimes. So I don't like that with the conference championship games are so much more important. And they are. I mean, if your goal is to win a national championship, they're more important than the rivalry game. 30 years from now, 2024 is going to be on that Ohio State Stadium as one of their national championship teams. They won't care about the Michigan loss. And you can say, yeah, they do care. No, not really. They won a national championship. That's not a bittersweet national championship. It's just sweet. You won a national championship. It sucks that you lost to your rival. Oh, well, you won the national championship the year after they did. So that there's no way Ohio State fans are still hung up on that, or they shouldn't be anyway. And I just think that that's what these conference championship games and this new playoff format is going to do, is kind of perhaps lessen the importance of those rivalry games. Especially because like half your roster is transient. It's not like they've been here for 3 or 4 years. Half of them weren't even here when they planted the flag. So it's the rivalries maybe lose a little bit of the hatred and luster because they're not going up against these guys every year. So many of them are new. Deuce Robinson's never played Florida, although he probably hates Florida anyway because of his dad, which is, that's because he was raised right.
Did Jimbo take the foot off the pedal in 13 in Gainesville? Like, I know it started off a little rock, but I don't know. By the midway through the third quarter, everything had worked itself out to what we thought the game was going to end up looking like. But I don't remember if the fourth quarter he took it easy.
He did, yeah. They got up. Kelvin made after Kelvin's last touchdown catch. I don't think they threw again. They took Jameis out of the game. I mean, the game was over. It was 37-3? But they could have kept going. They could have gotten to 40. I think they even kicked a couple field goals instead of going for it on fourth down, or went for it on fourth down instead of kicking a field goal, something like that, where they could have scored more at the end. But also I don't think it's not like he was worried about losing to Duke. I don't think. Like, guys, we got to get prepared for Duke. We got to stay healthy for Duke. It's like, nah, man, you're going to crush Duke.
Well, I'm just saying, I don't know. It seems like he gave Billy Napier a piece of his mind, and Billy took it. Like, Billy was like, okay, I got it. You're right. I'm sorry. Yeah.
You're talking about Norvell last year.
Yeah. So yeah. I don't, there's people here in the comments, Sidney Sweeney's fan club back, dropped $2 down from the heavens. And was like, after the flag thing, gloves are off, no mercy. I don't know if Mike's just what are you going to do? He's going to keep Tommy out there. And when you're up by 4 touchdowns with 6 minutes left in the fourth quarter to, make it a 30-point win. I don't think that's going to happen. I also don't think they're going to be up by 4 touchdowns. That would be incredible. But we just have no idea the context of the game. Like, is Napier even there? Is Lagway playing? Is Florida any good? Will it be 30,000 Florida State fans? Like, these games at the end of the year is always so goofy in this rivalry here lately. I do think that obviously bothered Norvell. It bothered me that Norvell was the one doing it and not any of the players, which was kind of a testament to that team last year. But yeah, you look, he certainly didn't like it. And I guess that could add a little ill will towards the rivalry, but I just think he's on to more important things. Like those, they planted a dumb flag. They were idiots.
He talked to him and told him his peace of mind and blah, blah, blah. And now he's got what looks like a really good team, and he might be playing for something that weekend. I don't know that he's going to go out of his way to embarrass that program. He just wants to get out of there with a win and hopefully on to Charlotte.
Clay County's finest. Corey Bates with $50 in the jar. Thank you, Corey Bates.
Corey, you're the man.
Corey tells us that we're already halfway to our total scoring mark from last season.
Yep.
Rooting for Florida to lose this weekend, but to be clear, I am not rooting for Miami. We get it.
We understand. But yes, I feel like that would be really cool if Florida lost that game. But you wouldn't be devastated if it went the other way. That's the beauty. Like, because then you think about it, like, yes, it would mean the game in Doak would lose some luster, but you get to see the images of the sad Miami fans wearing their Darth Vader masks. And their face paint, or their big spiked shoulder pads that they must have taken 2.5 hours to get all in that get up for the 2 times they go to that stadium that year. And then they're devastated and they're just sitting there with their gold chain around their neck looking hangdog. Those are always wonderful, wonderful, wonderful images. Like the turnover chains. That's still a thing down there, even though it's not a part of the team anymore.
They ran for 15. I'm sorry.
What?
They ran for 1,079 yards last season as a team, Florida State. They netted 1,079 rushing yards last year. They're at 591 already.
How much did they have last year?
1,079.
Well, and they scored 19 offensive touchdowns last year. They've already scored 14 this year. So they should, if everything goes according to plan, pass that mark Saturday. They will have more touchdowns by the 3rd game of the year than they had in 12 last year, which, again, is more of a testament to what in the world we had to watch.
Corey Bates, thank you, man. Appreciate you.
Thank you very much, Corey, for real.
Timothy Icardi, I know this has been discussed at length, but do you think our punt return issues are from our coaching approach? Growing up watching Greg Reed, it's a tough watch week in and week out.
What do you think, Aslan?
I mean, I don't think they're telling Jalen Lucas back off. No, go. And then, I don't think they're approaching it. I think that's one of those things you just have to have. It's like a genetically thing that's embedded inside of you where you see that ball, like you really don't care. You're just going to catch it and you're going to run. You're going to try to make something happen. So either be that guy or be the guy that's like, don't drop it. I'm going to catch it. Fair catch. Boom. But like, I don't think you can dance in both realms. Although, like, for as good as Keon was, like, Keon looked clumsy sometimes back there, but he always caught it.
Yeah, he did. He was a pretty natural pass catcher, as it turned out. He just catcher of the football. Look, I think they put so much. I think there is something to when you stress special teams so much that maybe it does add a little pressure. Like, hey, we practice this more than anybody in the country. I need to make a big play. I need to make the right play. I need to go get this ball and go turn it into something. Otherwise, why are we wasting hours of our lives trying to get better at this when it doesn't matter? So maybe there's an inherent pressure on a returner to make it a positive play, and then it turns into like a negative where you're like, don't screw up because we work on it. And it's like, I could see that, I guess. But just get somebody back there that's a natural catch on the football. Like, I think they made bad decisions with it. Like, they started a couple years ago wanting Toafili to do it. And within 2 practices, I'm like, that guy can't do it. Toafili was a really good college football player. He made a ton of big plays. Catching punts wasn't his forte. So that's when they went to Keon. And now it looks like Norvell's going to go with Jalen Lucas. I just think what you need somebody there that's confident catching the football. I don't care what they do after the catch. Honestly, I don't. Go run 8 yards and dive down. Just catch the football, because that's going to save you 20 yards, because as we've all talked about, the ball against Florida State always kicks towards their end zone. It's always going to take a crazy hop. So just go catch the ball. And again, I don't know Kent State's punting stats. I'm assuming this guy doesn't have a boomer leg, although Kent State would be a great place to go if you're a good punter. So there's probably going to be some line drives that aren't fielded. And Alabama's punter sucked or couldn't punt the ball in the air. That made Lucas look bad, and then obviously the East Texas guy didn't boom him either. So It'd be nice if they face some guys that can actually punt the ball in the air and get some hang time. They might look better trying to catch the ball.
Wilkes says, put 2 guys back there to return punts. Give one of them a super soaker water gun so the other guy will make the catch. It'll be just like practice then.
What would that be? Would that be a penalty?
No.
I don't. Are you allowed to take a water gun onto a field?
Can you bring a foreign object onto?
What would be the penalty?
I don't know. Yeah,
and especially if you're only squirting your own guy. I think you should be allowed to do that. That's a great idea. I'll suggest it to Norvell.
Teddy P checking in, Corey. Strecadocious.
Oh, yeah. I know Teddy. You've met Teddy. You've hung out with Teddy.
Yeah, he looks forward to picking our brains again at CP. He's also looking forward to the next dimension in the Florida State offense, usage of our tight ends that will have defenses even more nervous.
Yeah, we haven't asked about Pittman. I don't know if we know the latest on his injury. But we did find out that on Norvell said on Wednesday that Squirrel White practiced today. Not sure if he'll play. They're going to see the next couple days, but it sounded like LaWayne McCoy would play, which is a good thing. Maybe LaWayne McCoy could be a punt returner, just go catch the ball. But it sounds like LaWayne McCoy will be ready to play. Kevin Wynn maybe for Virginia. Definitely not this week, it didn't sound like. And then we didn't hear about Randy Pittman. But, yeah, man, I think Randy Pittman is a big deal. Hopefully Amari Williams and Landon Thomas have become good college football players too. I think they can. I definitely think they can. They definitely have the ability. But, yeah, I think that the tight end I know it's not been a big part of Malzahn's offense traditionally, but Norvell loves him, and he's got some guys that can play. So I do think that it could be a bigger part of the offense moving forward. They didn't obviously need it. Pittman made a couple plays in the Alabama game, and obviously they didn't need much from the tight ends. I know Amari had the touchdown catch, but they didn't need any tight ends against East Texas A&M.
Underdog Fantasy Sports. Go check them out. Corey, you've already put together our Saturday-ish kind of parlay, but let's go to the desert. Saturday night. What happened? I thought that had this whole thing queued up, and I just lost it. That's not their fault. It's my fault. Here we go.
Get it together, Aslan.
I feel like Baylor, Arizona State is a Corey Clark special. I feel like it's going to be hires galore. Sam Levitt, 210 passing yards.
Bump it up higher. Come on.
Sawyer Robertson, Baylor, 308.
Lower.
That's a big number.
That's a huge number. Lower.
Malik McClain. Do we want to say he's going to catch a touchdown? Or let's go.
You know what? Yeah, we do. Malik McClain's going to make a touchdown catch.
All right, Malik McClain's going to make a touchdown catch. Jordan Tyson, higher, lower, 101.5 receiving yards. He's our number one target.
Yeah, I'm going to say higher because I got Levitt hitting higher. I want to hit it. I want to get them both. And plus, I like saying higher. All
right, there we go. I'm going to play it conservatively. I'm going to put $5. I'm going to play it, everybody. Look at this. Lock it in, everybody. Just locked it in over at Underdog Fantasy Sports. Download the app today and sign up with promo code Warchant to score $50 in bonus funds when you play your first $5. Promo code Warchant. Millions of fans have made billions making picks on Underdog. Will you be next? Underdog, make picks, win money.
What are you going to get if you win? If on the $5 bet, if it hits on the
$60.
parlay? All right, and if you weren't making a baby bet, you could win some real money. So don't be a baby like Aslan. Put some real money. Maybe not on my picks, but on your own picks. Put some real money out there.
I was just trying to illustrate how it works.
How easy it is, yeah.
You must be 18 and up, 19 and older in Alabama, Nebraska, 19 in Colorado. For some games, 21 and up in Arizona, Massachusetts, and Virginia. And present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. See assets.underdogfantasy.com/web/play and get terms_DFS_.html for details. Offer not valid in Maryland, Michigan, Ohio, and Pennsylvania. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org. In New York, call the 24/7 Hope line at 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY. What else we got there, Andrew? Andrew's got some stuff queued up for us. Samurai Knoll. Bringing the yen. I should have a gong go off.
Dollar bills, y'all.
When
Samurai, or would that be culturally insensitive in this day and age?
No, man. Didn't samurais gongs were around back at the samurai age, weren't they?
Yeah, instead of like doing the air horn, just
Yeah. I'm with you.
All right, Samurai Noel, who I think legitimately is actually in Japan, I want to say. Which I don't know, what time is it in Japan?
Isn't that how he's sending us yen?
You would think so. Yeah. Correct, Corey. Good insight. Sorry. Does Tommy throw an interception against Kent State just to get it out of his system? And he wishes congratulations to me. Thank you. Big wedding plans, small venue. I think we're going to be going over 100 people. So that's medium then, I think, right?
Probably, yeah.
I think big wedding is like 200.
And am I the best man?
Groomsman. Ira's the best man. Sorry.
Figures. That's funny. Sorry, Mercedes Mike. You got kicked to the curb.
I don't know. Low key, do you want to see like a pass go off the hands of somebody and then it gets picked? I
guess. I guess it's going to happen. You might as well happen in a game where it's not, really costly turnover. And it shouldn't be in this game. I guess anything could happen, but they are 45-point favorites. But I'd like him to get up maybe by 3 or 4 score. You know what? I just want him to get to respond afterwards. So if he has an interception early, I just want him to, have an interception early. Let's see how you respond to it. But I think he only threw 5 last year. So it's not like he's a turnover machine, or at least he wasn't last year. So, I think maybe he's just a guy that's not going to throw a ton of picks.
That would be nice.
Yeah.
Jeff Kottkamp agreed on the punt returns. Just catch it. Best punt returners in FSU history were Prime and T-Buck. Which Florida State quarterback will throw for the most touchdowns on Saturday?
It's a good question. I'm going to say Tommy, though. I still think they will. But, yeah, and also I don't know who's going to get more reps out of those two guys, and I just don't think they'll get enough possessions because, college football, you're only getting 10 or 11 possessions nowadays. Even Florida State in the last game only got 11, I think. They just happened to score on 10 of them. I would still say Tommy's going to get the majority of the reps, so he'll have the most touchdowns. And I would throw Greg Reed into the mix there. Only because look, T-Buck and Primetime are Hall of Famers. Like, they were incredible. But Greg Reed, you just love the way he was fearless and went, especially now watching what it looks like now. He would go and catch everything on a dead sprint. It was his turn to go get the ball, and he was going to go make a play. And you can't overstate how valuable that is. Instead of letting the ball roll for 20 yards, he would go catch it and return it for 20 yards. Well, you've got a 40-yard difference right there, and that's a pretty big deal in field position. So Greg Reed was great at returning punts.
Information I wish I would have seen 3 minutes ago. Jalen Scott says that Baylor's quarterback has thrown for over 300 in every game so far this season.
Not scared. That means he's due to go under. He's due to go under. Just playing the trends.
Due to go lower. That is right.
Sorry, due to go lower. My fault.
Let's see here. Deuce, over under 118 yards receiving.
Under. They got to get Boggs going a little bit, especially if Squirrel's not playing. You also, if Lawayne's in the game, you want to get McCoy's feet wet because you're going to need him this season, I think. He might be your number 4. Get McCoy and Boggs involved.
Credible Detailing is here, and I think they did this last time. They just dropped $5 and said, thanks. Ask a question, but thank you. Sincerely, thank you.
Dollar bills, y'all.
I wonder if they thought about going incredible with Incredible Detailing. Because it's weird. Incredible is usually when you throw like a prefix in front of a word, it's the opposite. It means the opposite. But incredible isn't the opposite of credible. It's just more so.
Right.
You know what I mean? Credible Detailing or Incredible Detailing both work well.
Young Bleak, must we forget Willie Reed?
Yeah, Georgia's own, Georgia's finest.
No, we do not.
But the thing with Willie Reed was he was incredible that 1 year, but I don't feel like he was even the main punt returner. Like Greg Reed and T-Buck and Dion were basically the punt returners for 4 years. At least 3 for Greg Reed till he got kicked off the team. Willie Reed, I feel like, really only was the punt returner that 1 year. And he was awesome. That was an incredible season of punt returning. But, yeah, he's very good. I don't know if he's on the Mount Rushmore because you got to throw Peter Warrick in there too. But Willie Reed is close. And it just goes to show you, like, man, Florida State has had some – that's what's so frustrating about it, Aslan. This is punt returner U. This is PRU, and they've just been struggling here for the last couple of years. Really struggling. since Norvell got here, I feel like, other than Keon.
Yeah. All right. I think that's it for us, man. I think we made it
We
to the
did it.
finish line. Was 2013 your boy quit Jimba?
No, that was 2010. That was when he beat him. And the Urban did quit like 2 days later.
Eddie Gran. Yeah, Eddie Gran's like, you made him quit.
You made him quit.
You made him quit. Good times. Oh, yeah. Lil Copa says Julian Armella might be back on the open market.
He absolutely will be.
That's crazy. Did you see the reporting from Pete Nakos? I don't know. I shouldn't say this out loud. It's part of my job. I still don't get this transfer portal thing. So apparently there's a defensive back from Virginia Tech that 20 schools have reached out to him already, including Florida State, because he's allowed to enter the portal because his coach just got fired.
It's 30-day window. Yeah. It's but they can't play, but they can join the program.
Okay. So he could theoretically in the next week. I mean,
he could go to Florida State and then give them all the inside scoop on what Virginia Tech's game plan. Bring your iPad with you.
That's crazy.
Hey, buddy, it's all crazy.
Well, here's my thing, real quick on the way out, and I get it. We have to treat all these student athletes like students, right? I was allowed to transfer. You should be allowed to transfer, but I don't think I was allowed to transfer mid-semester and enroll. Right? You shouldn't be able to. I don't know. Who knows? Apparently the congressional thing is up in smoke too. So we're just
going to sit here and talk about football.
Yeah. Awesome. Shout out to Jalen, says you guys are awesome. Thank you. Thank you to everybody out there for being involved in the show. Hit the thumbs up on the way out. Thanks to Jeffrey Hill. Thanks to Sydney Sweeney's fan club. Thanks to Sergeant Eggy for joining as a YouTube member premium. Braden McGill. Thank you as well. Credible Detailing and Corey Bates and Samurai Knoll and them yen guns spend on Underdog Fantasy Sports. Be responsible, though, boys and girls, when you do absolutely. That. Warchant report, I think, will be dropping tomorrow, maybe alongside Coach Speak shortly thereafter, or maybe Coach Speak will drop Friday. Jeff Cameron show 1 to 4 o'clock. We've got a pregame show. There's a meet and greet at Hotel Indigo at 1 p.m. on game day Saturday. Postgame show after the game, 10 to 15 minutes, although probably 2-minute timeout if this game plays out the way
Corner
we think.
Pocket Friday night. Be there. I'll be there. Maybe other people, but I'll be there. Stephanie will be there. So come on and say hello.
Warchant.com. We're covering your favorite team like nobody else. Really, like in college sports, it kind of feels like, although KSR is supposed to be really good too, but that's Kentucky. Who cares about Kentucky football?
Nobody.
We'll do another show and we'll put out some over-unders, and you'll have the opportunity to win $25 to Garnet and Gold. That'll be on the Friday program. This is the Thursday podcast, although we're doing it live on Wednesday. I'm going to stop rambling. Andrew, thank you back there. For Corey, I'm Aslan. Thank you, everybody, for watching this edition of Wake Up Warchant, presented by Vitamin Energy, vitaminenergy.com, promo code Warchant, BOGO.